The Zacks rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks rank buys.
You've heard of that old saying, from soup to nuts? Well, when it comes to momentum stocks, we've got things from soup to medical supplies. Leave it to Dave Bartosiak to come up with that combination. He's our momentum strategist, and I'm sure you're going to explain exactly what that means as we go through these stocks. Let's start with the medical products company.
Well, see, when you first said soup to nuts, I thought you were going to call me the nut. I was waiting for that.
No.
But yeah, so Stryker, it's a medical company. They make specialty medical devices for surgery.
Okay.
And they're a lot bigger company than you might think. They have something like $9.7 billion in revenue over the last, in 2014.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for a place that you've never heard of, right? But then again, we're not hanging out in, in the OR though, so I guess we wouldn't know about them. But anyway, they're Zacks rank number 2 buy right now. They just came in a pretty good beat. I think $1.20 versus a 108 is what they were looking for. So it's popped up on the radar. Ran them in the screen the other day. They were breaking through the new 52-week highs. So we take a look at the chart. It's another one of these breakout stocks that I like to jump on. This market's been rewarding us for buying stocks as they break out versus waiting for the pullback kind of thing. It's like the money's kind of going towards where the strength is in the market. So we had that here as this broke on through $100 per share. It looks like it's going to keep on chugging over here. So that's kind of a sexier sort of story, a more exciting name, and people probably haven't heard of it.
All right. Campbell Soup, that's the soup company.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of that one, right?
I think so.
It's not something you usually talk about when you're talking momentum stocks,
Right.
Campbell Soup.
Right.
It's not the most exciting thing. I can't even remember last time I had Campbell Soup, but I wasn't that excited when I had it. But they've been doing some cost cutting recently, some aggressive cost cutting, and have changed the target on their kind of 3-year outlook for cutting. They thought they were going to cut $200 million worth of expenses, but now they're thinking it's going to be closer to $250 million worth of expenses.
That's a lot of cutting.
That's a lot of cutting, and it's helping boost them right now. The analysts are very bullish on it. It has the Zacks rank number 1 strong buy on it right now. And with a company as old and as large as Campbell's, that means something, right? So something's in the works, something is changing. If you take a look at the stock chart, though, it's also exciting because we've been bumping up against a fresh 52-week high. You got a lot of momentum in the stock. This kind of $49 level where it's trading at, it hasn't seen that in a very long time. And it's this slow and steady sort of bottom left to top right pattern, right? So it's not jumping up like crazy and then retracing and bouncing around all over the place. Just kind of slow and steady, leads the race, just like you're eating your bowl of soup, right? Don't get too quick, just slow and steady, and you're going to be all right.
I guess depends on how hot it is.
Depends on the soup drinker, I guess. I'll drink soup quick, but, depends on the size of the spoon.
Well, thanks for that insight into your eating habits.
That's right.
Do you own either of these?
Neither one.
Okay.
But I do have some Campbell soup.
All right.
That I don't eat.
More stock picks, stock picking strategies, maybe even some quips from Dave. I don't know what they put up there, but it's on the website, Zacks.com. If you're interested, link to it all off the homepage. And if you're watching these videos on YouTube, don't forget you can subscribe to them there, as well as comment on them. With Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.